Howdy, Master Users here, and today we're finally reviewing Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And guess what? I saw it in theaters, thank goodness. Movie cinemas are now open again. Well, mostly everything's open again here in New South Wales for double-vaxxed people, which includes myself. Not bragging or anything, but yeah. So, but going into things, Shang-Chi, to be honest, wasn't the Marvel movie I was that excited for. I mean, honestly, when this film was first announced, I was more intrigued with Eternals more than I was Shang-Chi. Not that it sounded interesting, far from it. I thought it was really good. It sounded really nice, but I don't know, I just didn't feel, like this was the main draw card for me this year. In fact, even though I had this earmarked as a film I would see, I still wasn't so sure. But, over time I saw the trailers and I got really hyped. And you know what? And honestly, I kind of knew this would be the best film to see when theaters first opened here in New South Wales. You know what? Not only was I blown away by it, I think it's better. It exceeded my expectations completely. Yeah, this is, you know what, I think I was a little bit disappointed with Black Widow, but Shang-Chi is completely wowed me over. So what's the premise? Shang-Chi is the son of a Chinese gangster who holds the power of the Ten Rings, mystical artifacts from centuries old that can wipe out entire civilizations. Shang-Chi unfortunately decides to run away from his father very early, and settles in San Francisco with his American friend Katie, who also has Asian background, and seems to sell the fact that he's away from from the past he's left behind. But eventually it comes back to him when his father's minions attack him to gain access to a jewel he has, along with the jewel of his estranged sister. Turns out both these jewels can lead his father, the Mandarin, the real Mandarin, not the fake one from Iron Man 3, can lead them to this ancient civilization where Shang-Chi's late mother used to reside. His father believes that he can revive his deceased mother there, but knowing what his father is like, Shang-Chi, his sister, and his friend Katie go to the ancient civilization and prevent his father from unleashing world havoc. Where they team up with the fake Mandarin, Trevor Slattery from Iron Man 3, surprised to see him back, and a mysterious creature from his mother's birthland. So, what does work for this? Well, the martial arts. I mean, knowing this, the martial arts in this is great. It looks unbelievable. This was worked on by the late Brad Allen, who was a stunt choreographer for Jackie Chan's production company. And you know what? He did a really good job of this being one of his last productions. The effects are also amazing. I mean, in the real world, you see the standard Marvel effects that work out well. I mean, you see Wong use his sorceress, his mystic arts abilities. You even get to see the Abomination return from the Incredible Hulk. But when you get to the ancient world, I forget what it's called, but it looks unbelievable, and all the creatures there look almost like from a fantasy book. Also, I do want to address, yes, it's pronounced Shang-Chi, and I will eventually get used to saying that, but I'm going to alternate a bit here. The cinematography was also great. I've been really impressed with how the MCU has upped their cinematography over the last few years, well, over the last few films, I should say. The acting is great. Sam Liu, I think that's how you pronounce his name, is great as Shang-Chi. He is a person who wants to do good, but has a past hidden beneath him that he wishes to get away from, but is slowly starting to return to his life. The guy who they got, the other actors also do good. I mean, I was blown away. Michelle Yeoh, who appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, appears as Shang-Chi's long-lost aunt, and she does a really good job. Yeoh appeared in. This is the first time a single actor has played 2 different characters in the MCU, so that's amazing. You know, maybe one day we'll get the 2 characters interacting, but pipeline dream, honestly. Yeah, but I will say this, I do kind of get Kung Fu Panda 2 vibes with when she's explaining the history of that sacred world to Shang-Chi. I was quite surprised when they first announced that Ben Kingsley would be returning as Trevor Slattery, the fake Mandarin from Iron Man 3. And you know what? He's actually one of the most funniest character in the film. And you know what? They try. The filmmakers are basically apologizing for the twist in Iron Man 3, but you know what? And setting up from events of the All Hail the King short for the MCU, which honestly I have not seen, but they do talk a bit about it, and I've seen bits and pieces. But you know what? Kingsley does an amazing job in this. He's absolutely hilarious, and you know what? I think people will actually start to like him a bit more and get over that pain that Iron Man 3 caused. And I think also and then of course you have the Mandarin himself, Shang-Chi's father, and he's perhaps one of the best MCU villains out there. I mean, his goal isn't really to take over the world, and in many ways, I guess he is a bit of a ruthless gangster, but you can see he does truly love his children. But he is so blinded by his desire to see his love again that he's completely immune to reason. But you know what? He is still, deep down, you feel he is still a decent person, but is lost behind this wall of grief. You know, he's a really good character. And you know, if they can, who knows? Maybe they might, since What If Season 2 will bring in the Phase 4 films into the equation, you know, maybe we can see more of it. You know, I would give so much credit to see him return in What If, you know. And I feel like this is also a very beginner-friendly film for the MCU. I mean, fans can just jump in and just enjoy what you can get, you know. I mean, we haven't had a film like this where fans can just jump in and just go from there since Doctor Strange, actually. I mean, I would include Captain Marvel, but you know, it is based with the way it was hyped up as a bit of a tease of events for Avengers Endgame. I can't really count it. So yeah. But is there anything I have problems with? Well, first off, Awkwafina plays Katie, and her performance is very hit and miss. There are moments where she's great, and then she's very I think I had that same problem with her performance in Raya and the Last Dragon, another Disney themed Asian film. Jeez. Twice in a row for your ear. But you know, overall she does have some good moments, and she isn't that bad. It's just her performance can be hit and miss at times. And then there's Morris, or Maris. I don't know. I'm not sure how Ben Kingsley pronounces the name of the film, which is the creature that leads Shang-Chi to this secret world. And honestly, the design, it kind of looks a bit childish. I'm not going to say why if you haven't seen it, but let's just say, I mean, it just seems like a design that a child created. I'm not going to explain what it looks like, but it's basically I feel like when you first see it, it's just basically, you know, trying to get a laugh out of you. But you know, overall, I think Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings is amazing. Definitely give us a watch I feel like even newbies can give us a go, you know? And that's kind of nice to hear that the MCU is doing a film like this that's very beginner friendly. And overall, I think it's a great representation of Asian culture in the MCU. And here's to hope that future sequels bring in more elements of it. I really enjoyed it, so I'm giving it a 9 out of 10 hat stars. And I definitely think so far it's actually the best film I've seen of this year, newly released. And I'm going to count Black Widow in this as well. Of the films I've seen so far this year in theaters / streaming services, Shang-Chi is the best, by far at the moment. I mean, with maybe Raya and the Last Dragon, probably second. Yeah, I would say Raya and the Last Dragon is close second. With some of two of the Australian films I've seen this year, not far off. But so that's it. What's next for well, in terms of theatre reviews, I will watch Free Guy, hopefully in theaters. Otherwise, I'll just do stream Disney Plus. But well, I pretty much have plans to see it in theaters, hopefully in 2 weeks. But in terms of other reviews, I think I've actually got something in mind, and I'm pretty sure it's a video game. It's a video game actually. Yeah, video games. Yeah. So yeah, and it's actually going to be a Rareware title. There you go. So, and of course, keep on watch for Before the Flicks. That one should be coming out very shortly after this video is released. In the meantime, Hasmouse Reviews is out. I'll catch you later for my next review. Ciao.